And this dumbass sports show starts right now.
Football
is happening this evening in the National Football League.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Eagles are taking on the Houston Texans.
Hell yeah.
In a Thursday night football matchup on Amazon Prime.
What do you say?
What's going on?
What about the other
Did you hear
league?
how much better that sounded as opposed to the Philadelphia Birds taking on the Houston Cows? Male cows, ones with the steers. Could you have imagined how dumb that would have sounded if we would have had to do that the rest of the season? And we were set in our ways. We were going to do as such. But the good people at NFL Films took a conversation to the people at the NFL, want to bat for us, came back this morning with a phone call and said, hey, that little dust up that just happened just a couple days ago, please move along. Understand that the NFL, the media, its partners are all going through an interesting time right now. We're on the Oregon Trail for this digital age, this social media age, this sports gambling age, this independent show age, this new media age. Thank you, Draymond.
Thank you, Draymond.
And LeBron and everybody for showing us how to do it all.
Thank you,
but in
guys.
this new age, you know, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to have to happen. We happen to be near the front of said Oregon Trail in which people are going. We are lucky to be here. We are not the first. We are certainly not the first, but we are in the earlier stages of a relationship between the NFL and a digital platform, a social media platform, an independent platform, but one that has enough money. Shout out to all of our sponsors, including FanDuel, the largest, of course. But let's not forget about 5-Hour NG, SeatGeek, Rogan, and the beautiful people that watch every single day with our relationship with Google and WWE and ESPN. And the Google deal with Google is literally with nobody there, just the algorithm. They just send us a check.
Thank you, algorithm.
And we appreciate the algorithm and everything like that. So the NFL having to navigate those waters for the first time, us being near the front of that entire thing having to happen with rights, with sports gambling, with who has what, who doesn't have what. I can understand now how there would be a confusion because you would expect that if you're thinking about just normal humans. But I think we all seem to think the highest of people that are put in positions of power in very powerful companies. So this is something that I've learned as I get a chance to peek behind a curtain in a lot of different companies, a lot of different categories of companies. You know, there's a lot of incredibly talented people at a lot of positions in a lot of places. But there are also people who maybe don't understand the current world they're in that are in a powerful spot because of how good they were in the previous world of the media world. So they're trying to learn it just alongside everybody else. And if you think about your mom, your grandma, your grandpa, your grandpa, an uncle who's maybe a little bit out trying to figure out the whole world, they're trying to do the same thing while also trying to maintain a standard for all of their partners. I can understand that now that I was kind of explaining that. I wish that there would be a little bit better, but now we're allowed to say the National fucking Football League has a big fucking game this evening. And I saw a lot of people on the internet tell me, and not a lot of people, obviously a much smaller amount of people than the people that want to bat for us. And we appreciate you on the internet letting the NFL and old Commissioner Goodell understand, who I assume had no idea this was happening.
No, not.
His mentions start getting flooded. He's
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm going to do my once a day check of Twitter. You know, they tell me I shouldn't do this. I'm taking a longer shit today. I am going to check in on Twitter to hear what our NFL fans are doing. He gets through one scroll. Oh, you handled this terribly. Same old. It seems like Roger Goodell looking at his Twitter account while taking a shit. Roger, I like peanut M&Ms too.
Love this
All
guy.
right, let me scroll down. Why didn't you fucking fire Dan Snyder and what's your punishment? Oh, tough day. All right. At Pat McAfee Show, you are fucking him over. Pat McAfee, why are you doing this to Pat? You hate Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee is a nominee for your Hall of Fame, you fucking asshole. What did I do?
What happened?
What the fuck did I do? And I appreciate it. And I even said, hey, Commish, this is happening in your league. I may or may not have sent a couple of text messages to billionaires who might have a say or a stake in the league saying, hey, this is your league that this is happening in. So I have to be a little bit more understanding. I think we all do. But we are very appreciative and grateful that we're in the position that we're in to learn and go through these hurdles together with the NFL. We will adapt as they will adapt, and we'll go forward highlighting the best sport in the best league of all time in the way that we're doing it. Literally for the last 3.5 years until this week on a Monday, whenever that information got dropped out of nowhere, which miscommunication, I think the timing of that a little fucked up too. You would expect that to be a little bit better if old media or new media. Nonetheless, we appreciate the NFL Films people for going to bat for us, and we appreciate the NFL letting us call them the NFL again. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, NFL.
I'm happy we were able to put our swords aside.
Yeah.
Because I was ready. I mean, this was happening with the NFL social media department, I'm not even getting into that whole game. Social media people right now are bamboozling these olds who
yeah.
have no idea what social media is, but they're getting paid a lot of money to run these people's social media. And they're literally their own bosses because there's no accountability. They can do whatever the fuck they want because all the olds that are in positions of power that could potentially do something for it, they go, oh, you know better than I do. Which is probably right.
Yeah.
But also,
Is it right?
you know, so the social media department over there at NFL, we've got, obviously they blocked me and restricted me from their Instagram before.
Yep.
They said it was an accident. They said this. It happened numerous
You
times.
said dude. You can't say
yeah,
dude.
can't say
Can't
dude.
do
Like
it.
all those things. So, I mean, there has been multiple little semi-battles here with the NFL. I will assume there will be more, but the overall goodness of the relationship, I think, outweighs any of the little tiffs. So we appreciate being past this, but we'll be ready to fucking 10 hut if I have to. You know what I
right.
mean? Go ahead, Tone.
Can I?
I think he turned that helmet around one half of the hammer down.
Done.
Hell yeah.
Cowboys, Tone Diggs.
Wow.
Show that.
you go, Tony.
Love it.
7-2 the rest of the year.
I doubt that. The host of Everything DB is hanging out with us here. The host of Man to Man podcast. Dahn, your NFL vet, played corner, nickel, safety.
Wide.
Probably could have played any other position that he wanted to because he's so athletic, except for basketball yesterday or golf. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler.
Tough day in the office, Jesse. I'm glad you were able to rectify that, though, the league. It's big time.
It was a big call.
Where's Ty Law? Gotta get Ty Law back up.
No, I'm not ready yet. I
You're
still
not ready
don't
yet?
forgive him. No, I enjoyed the Patful, actually, but I'm not ready. I'll do it later. Maybe tomorrow or next week.
It did happen like 10:30 this morning. We're live at noon Eastern, 10:30 Eastern. Have the call. I'm going in that call not knowing. You know, I'm going in that call not. There's been a lot of things said.
Yeah.
Just like that other call earlier in the week.
Yeah, there's been a lot of things, a lot of reaction too.
Yeah.
You know, because the NFL is at the top of the mountain. So anything they do that is seemingly stupid, which this certainly was.
Sure.
Just why? Like, I'm the only one that is allowed to say and do, like, I'm not going to have somebody tell me, oh, you shouldn't say that. Like, you shouldn't say everything that is happening behind the scenes. I'm like, well, if I don't, then what am I? It's not our show. Then it's not really what our show is. Like, I feel like being transparent is kind of a part of my thing. Like, that's the only reason why the show, I think, kind of exists. So I'm going to have to talk about it, especially because we have a Monday Night Football game, and we have to cover it. If we didn't cover it, it'd be very weird. And it's not good for you guys or the show. So I'm going to have to cover it. How am I supposed to have those hand drawings on the graphics and not point out, oh, here, to celebrate Halloween,
Yeah.
we dressed our graphics up as if we're in an elementary show. Like, I don't know how I would have been able to do it. So just the decision to have that happen, I think, is very dumb. But anytime somebody sees the NFL do something dumb that is of a bigger publication, I mean, there's Sports Illustrated articles written
Yeah.
about it, which I did not expect. I appreciate Sports Illustrated, the author. I should know your name. I apologize. I only saw clips of it. My wife read it. Actually, I didn't even read it, but she read it. She was like, hey, Sports Illustrated just wrote about your whole thing. So I appreciate the author that went to bat. There was numerous publications around the world that wrote about it. So it was gaining a lot of steam that I did not necessarily don't need or expect or want. You know, it wasn't like, I was just kind of talking through our show, kind of handling our shit. And I've had this happen with the WWE where I'm just doing our show.
Reacting in real time.
Yeah, I'm just doing the show. I'm saying something from my standpoint, and then there's something written about what I said, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, why'd you? I'm like, well, if we think about at the time,
I mean, it happened an hour and a half
I was
before
like,
the show.
yeah, right before the show, I was told I can't do it. So our show is different in that avenue. There was a lot of people that jumped on the story. We appreciate you going to bat for us. We appreciate you taking our side. And whether you're actually on our side or just like, we can attack the NFL because of this, either or, we appreciate the kind words, and it feels like we're back on the right path, which is good news. But
Yeah.
there was some dumb shit that I think happened.
Well, and given the way the first call ended, I don't know if I necessarily expected, things to be rectified so soon because, like you said, hey, you get your marching orders, and we've been ready to go. We've
Well, I
been ready to
appreciate
go
that.
for a while.
I appreciate that. And we would have locked in. I think we're stubborn enough to have, like Dan Snyder. I think we would have been stubborn enough to not mention a team name. Like, I think we would have got Paffle over. I think the Paffle would have been how we would have discussed the NFL. I think we would have been able to naturally do that. I don't think it would have been as fun of an existence.
No.
I don't think the shows would have been as fun. I mean, you like to bury people.
Going to war
You've
is
called
the
for
best.
you enjoy it. I don't necessarily love it.
Sure.
I'd rather just be good vibes, good times, have a blast, a little mental vacation in the afternoon or the morning, wherever the hell, or I guess in the evening if you're ever in Europe watching, where it's just a little mental vacation. So I don't necessarily love the let's go to war, but sometimes you got to sometimes you got to be like, No, like that is not right, and I'm thankful we did it this time, and I'm happy it's over, and I'm happy they saw the same way.
Especially when you're in the right. It'd be one thing if you're, going to war for no reason and you're maybe in the wrong, but when you are clearly in the right and you have basically done nothing wrong, it's like, okay, well, I don't have a choice.
This has kept me up a little bit at night because I've been so confused about it all, and there's been a lot of conversations with myself about like, nah, you're right though. You're right, though. You will rarely see me bring any negativity into my life or at all unless I am 100% in the belief that I'm right. Other people might think I'm wrong, but in my eyes, I have a reason, and I would be completely okay with explaining it. And I think my reason is good enough if you were to tell your reason to beat your reason. That if you're going to hear me get loud, just for the future, if you're going to stick around with us for a while we're a show, while I'm a human that's in the public eye before I disappear, which is going to be awesome. I'm going to become so good at golf, and my beard is going to be incredible. You might see me on that Champions Tour.
Yeah.
You might see Darius, too, if he learns how to make a putt, if that ends up happening. But if you ever hear me really go, just know, you might think I'm wrong. I am very confident in why I feel the way I feel, and I assume everybody feels that way. But just judging me going forward, if you hear me get a little, I have a pretty good explanation. I think our people know that. A lot of people said that to Troy Vincent. On his Twitter account, too. He was catching them strays.
Yeah.
Because I added him in the original because he's former player that's there.
Right.
Had to.
Yeah,
Should
he's former player there. It's like, hey, man, I'm trying, I feel like I'm part of the, am I not a part of the, I'm paying you guys, and I'm a part of the,
That's the big thing.
and you're attacking me.
Yeah.
it's like,
Hall of Fame nominee.
just a nominee, come
Exactly.
on. That's awesome, forever.
Yeah.
Yep.
That can be said forever, I guess. It's not worthy, but remember, not
Hey, you
warranted.
decided?
But I didn't make the decision. I didn't make the decision.